Over the past half year, I've been looking considerably into passive income, and I've come to the stark realization that passive income does not exist. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And knowing what you actually want to do comes into play even more than just following a career path that you kind of want to do. The reason being because your hours outside of work, outside of the thing that you're expected to do, are going to be utilized essentially to build this escape mechanism, a life in which we can have the freedom that we wish, and that we can have the opportunities that we wish we can have, that we wish for other people around in our life too. So I've been considering a lot. I've been looking into real estate. I've been looking into investing in businesses, acquisitions of companies. I've been looking into partnering. I've been looking into lessening taxation, trusts, land. But recently I came across something really fascinating. Someone by the name of Chester Zoda. Dr. Chester Zoda came up with a class that shows doctors how to make income by essentially putting their knowledge down in a course and allowing people to come by and purchase this course for their knowledge, for their value in society. And it's something that I decided to embark on because, well, if you've stuck with Turabify for a while now, you realize I'm just here trying to spread some knowledge anyway. It's something that aligns with my values, and I think my family's values in a weird generational sense, now that I was having a conversation with my brother about this. But I wanted to make this video to encourage everyone watching to consider trying to do things that can make you money passively after having spent a sufficient amount of time and energy to establish said thing. It's part of the reason that I actually got onto making these YouTube videos, because I was told that YouTube is an incredible investment to make something that people can watch for the rest of your life when you're not working is phenomenal in a personal brand sense, but also an opportunity sense. The ability to create a community online isn't valued by most people that are spending their time distracted online. And really, it's not all that difficult to do. The difficulty is knowing why you're doing it. Because like anything else, like careers in general, we know that there are certain steps that we need to take in order to achieve a certain goal, in order to become a doctor, in order to become a lawyer, in order to get that job we want, to get that mate we want. There's certain things that we should do. We know this. What many of us don't know is what we should be doing in order to live the life that we wish we could live. Not the life that we've been kind of programmed to believe is normal for society, but really the type of life that encourages not only ourselves consistently when we wake up in the morning, but also by an amazing byproduct, definitely encourages us people around us to pursue that freedom, to pursue the values that we believe are important. Now, I speak as someone that identifies as a leader, and I can understand there are many people in society, perhaps you watching, that do not identify as a leader. My argument against this philosophy: leaders, from my understanding, are not actually chosen. We don't impose ourselves necessarily onto society. But oftentimes we are pushed forward to take the responsibility, the burden of coming up with philosophies or reasonings for why things happen. Running away from this role, although it's something I've considered many times, but I think stepping into it also gives us a lot of responsibility. It's certainly done that for me in my life. Then it's definitely made me more satisfied with my decisions and happier with how I spend my time. Probably one of the more important values of mine now, to the point where almost every half an hour of the day actually means something to me. And I had to, because I'm now living in very close proximity to my family and people that have had significant influence on my life, but also know me quite well. I've had to step up my bounds. I've had to step up my routine in order to actually push through the monotony or potentially the philosophies of people around me. It's been difficult, sure, but incredibly satisfying. Because now, the very people that influence me to become the person I am now, to think as I do now, I have the opportunity of influencing them. Because I am pursuing something, and hopefully it's something respectable. Caring about humanity, trying to build wealth, thinking about the future, thinking about communities, things that matter to me. And this passive income stream, this creating a course, I'm very excited about it. I have a lot of ideas. So this is kind of my first week of doing this. And, I think the first step is to kind of get across the fact that we don't really know anything, right? Like, I just got my dental degree, and I've just kind of really started on this path of trying to figure out what it means to live a life worth living. And so, like, what the hell what do I have to teach people? What do I have to teach you? What do I have to show anything to the world? And to me, that's just imposter syndrome, right? It's us saying to ourselves, oh, we're not there yet. We're not that person. We can't do that thing. And there's a lot of doubt. But about 8 months ago, I cut the excuses, I cut the trifling things in life. That was one of the big things that I wanted to sacrifice when I first got into this train. A man by the name of Grant Cardone, Uncle G, has inspired me to become the greatest possible person that I can be. And he said, choose something that you're willing to leave behind. Choose something that you're willing to sacrifice for this life. I said, trifling. I don't want to trifle. I've never enjoyed it. And the funny part is, the more I give in to the fact that I never enjoyed it, the more that I give in to the fact that it's not really all that productive most of the time, the more I strengthen my resolve, my philosophy, and actually end up affecting a lot of the trifling things that are happening in my life. Alex Ramosi said something brilliant. He said, one of the easiest things to do when we come across a situation that we don't like is actually to ignore it altogether, to realize that it's not an issue at all. And the example he chose is, his loved one was calling him babe, and he didn't like it. And then he thought about it, he's like, well, what does it matter if she calls me babe? We can find limitless examples of this in our own lives because we have so much time to think about things that don't really matter. And it comes down to, I guess, being okay with being stuck in this world, to realizing maybe that this life is somehow infinite. You only live once. Anyway, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this process quite a bit. To rack my brain about things that I might know more than some other people, or things that I actually have in my head that might be valuable to other people. And I would encourage you to go through the exercise of thinking that about yourself. What is it that you could put a course together on that would genuinely be valuable to society? And the beautiful thing about this thought process is, if you do decide to do this thought experiment, I believe it will help solidify potentially the things that you enjoy doing in life to begin with. Because if you're going to spend all this damn time after work working on something, an escape mechanism, or a completely different form of living than the majority of other people in this world, you better want to really do that thing. You better want to have a really strong reason to do it. And what better reason than passion, than to love something and to show people. I can think about a number of people that probably that watch these videos. I can think of a number of friends that I have that in their own heads, they might believe that they don't have the ability to go and make something like this. But I know clearly that they're incredibly skilled at the things that I know them for. And I really hope that at least this message touches someone that knows, just has an inkling in their head, that perhaps some of the information in that dome of theirs is reliable and incredibly valuable to society. I think we're moving into a new age of humanity where education is no longer going to be standardized in any sense. because we're really just looking for specialists, right? Machines are basically going to end up doing a lot of the rote things, a lot of the blue-collar things that have been going on for hundreds of years. And the reality is our ideas, the things that our uniqueness is actually our greatest value, our asset, the age of brands. Anyway, food for thought. More on this later. Smash that thumbs up button for me, for the UMass Minutemen. I went to college. Throw me a comment. Let me know what you think about this passive income thing. If you ever lost faith in yourself, if you believe that you are somehow an outsider in this circumstance, coming from one, I see you, my friend. And subscribe. Maybe throw this to someone else. It would help out. Take care of yourself. If you have some time, check out this video right here. When I have a chance, I will post it. Talking about income. Actualize your potential, my friend. This world needs you. Take care.